What's going on, guys? Catching up again. So I just got some more information about Denzel Mims, which kind of correlates to a video I put out about why we don't need to draft a wide receiver in the first round. Um, According to the report, anyways, Denzel Mims was pretty frustrated, as we all are, with his 2021 season. And right after it ended, he ended up going immediately into training. Well, at least part of what his training was going to be. So he has his personal offseason coach, Chad Marr. He's been training with him since the 2020 draft, basically, and everything was kind of centered around the fact that, for one, he wasn't healthy. Two, his performance was very subpar. And there's something that was kind of left out in the article here that I think needs to be highlighted, which we believe is, not from the physical standpoint, although there definitely still had to be some impact from him having the salmon food poisoning and losing 20 pounds, but it's more so the fact that mentally he wasn't on par with what the Jets were looking for at the time. So he's been putting in a lot of offseason work, though. I'm just as confident in him coming back and being able to perform as I am with Mekhi Becton coming back and doing the same. But he trains with Chad Marr during the offseason. What stood out to me was that it was mentioned that almost basically as soon as the season ended, he headed out to Frisco, Texas, where Chad Marr is located, and his company, Marr's Strength, and he got to work. Keep in mind that our season was, over way in, November, December. Once the official 17 weeks were ended, though, he's out in Frisco, Texas, putting in work. The first 6 weeks sounds like it was purely a recovery health standpoint. What that necessarily means, we don't know. But he didn't put all the weight back on that he lost from the salmon food poisoning. He also probably wasn't necessarily in peak fitness form either, from like a conditioning standpoint. He didn't have all the normal strength and different tools at his disposal that he would have prior. And I think you can definitely see that reflected on film too. There's a couple things where he didn't necessarily get the same kind of release that he got on certain routes that he was able to do like his rookie season. And overall, it just kind of seemed like he was gassed a lot of the times. There was like one big play in week one, and then outside of that, everything else was pretty minor. But we did see him kind of have his almost like signature, carrying two or three people. So I think we see a little bit more of that coming in. We also know that he was out in Arizona training with Wilson. And then basically, I think the true goal for Denzel Mims is going to be, we heard JD putting out a lot of the memos about him sending in his work and stuff and them loving it. He really needs to come in and impress our wide receiver coach, who's Miles Austin. Former wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. He knows a lot about productivity-wise what it looks like to be a great wide receiver in the NFL. So if he can get Miles Austin buy-in and he can get the mental part of the playbook down, I think we see a significant part of production coming from him this upcoming season. I'd be pretty interested to see what Zach Wilson's thoughts, if there's anything put out about what that Arizona session looked like too. And then just some background info. So as far as Chad Marr's concerned, it's notable that a lot of our underperforming players seems to have pretty large enough teams around them for their support structure and development. So Chad Marr, again, being the offseason coach for him, again, trained since 2020 during the draft season. His program, there's a couple like highlightable, I guess, comments from what the structure is supposed to be. So it's supposed to create flexibility, coordination, stamina, and strength. So it's not just necessarily about going in there and, packing on the pounds. There's additional incentive to training with this guy. It seems like the program generally wants to, and I quote, quickly identifies weaknesses around joints that may lead to injury by identifying areas that are weak through the different movement patterns. So everything here is going to be about, flexibility, torsion in the joints, and then overall just getting stronger, better. And Chad Marr commented that I guess the 6 week period was really, again, about getting him back to health. And they wanted to get him bigger but leaner at the same time. So kind of think about what Chadwick Boseman, or excuse me, not Chadwick Boseman, but Michael B. Jordan went through when he went through going from the Creed movie to the Black Panther movie, and you've seen him be super bulked up in Creed, and you've seen a lot more, cut and definition in his body heading into Black Panther. Actually, I think that was reversed, but either way, you guys get what the idea is. So I'm really excited to see what Denzel Mims looks like in preseason. I don't know if we'll get any, definitive stuff in OTAs, but just having him there healthy is a plus. And again, I think this leads us to not having to reach in round one. We can really wait till round two, still get somebody that should be able to help out the team and push him. And if nothing else, keep in mind the very last back pocket option is that we build up his reputation again for a potential trade. I did see something very interesting in terms of some player for player trades that was out there, since we might not be able to get draft picks, but that's up in there. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Do you still have confidence in Denzel Mims, or do you guys think he's somebody who just potentially ends up getting cut, or we do like a player for player trade option? Peace.